this video we're going to do a bit of a mix of street and architecture photography. So I saw this restaurant across the road and it was called Paradise, and I thought that it was kind of a brilliant juxtaposition between the offices above and the opulence of the restaurant below with the Mercedes parked outside. So I was noticing the sweep in the road here. I thought the sweep of the road was kind of interesting, and the way the lighting was kind of peeling around the corner here just attracted me to try and get a shot. But I thought it would probably suit doing a wider angle better, so that's what I did here, to do it in landscape orientation. If you notice, I'm using zone focus, and I've been trying out different focus modes, and the focus is really impressive on the A7RV. It's been very good so far. I really like these office areas in central London in the business districts because it has a good feeling between having that kind of London vibe but unusual, more interesting lighting. Like this restaurant here, this Paradise restaurant. I really liked the way it was lit up. I thought the lighting was fantastic, and I just wanted to get a shot, and I was just trying to get the right angle, and I think that this was it. So let's talk a little bit about a couple of things about the A7RV. And firstly, I think I want to mention the grip, because the grip I was really pleasantly surprised by. I can get the knuckle fully on of my little finger, which means that I can actually hold the camera properly. I also have the small rig base plate for it as well, which gives you like a grip extension, and that works really well too. And the grip is larger than I thought. I had the A7 III before, and that wasn't as comfortable as this. In this picture here, I was really this was more of a lighting and mood shot rather than having a definitive subject. I really wanted to just get something that captured this atmosphere, because there was so much different types of lighting going on, and it was catching my eye. And when I see something like this, I think take a picture of it anyway. And it's just got this different kind of lighting of top down and side lights and then up lights and all sorts of things going on. Now this camera, the focusing system on it is really, really quick, and it seems to be very intuitive. So I started doing some different pictures where I was looking for people in the background, where they'd be silhouetted against the back. And this shot that I just showed you, again, it's more of a mood shot for me, and I like these kind of things where I'm not taking such obvious photos. Like I include a silhouette in the street, which is so common, but I'm trying to set it in an environment that people don't look at that often, and show them something a little bit different, a different way of doing a silhouette where the people are much more minor within the picture. So one of the features I really like on the autofocus system is that you can go from a mode like zone focus, which I'm in most of the time here, and when I touch the screen you get a small box, but you can move that box around with the joystick, and I think that that's nice that you can flick so quickly between these two modes. Also, I noticed just the customization of the entire camera. You can do so much customization, and you can assign most buttons to do most things that the camera is capable of. I loved this little cafe that was across the road, again because of the lighting. I thought the lighting was really interesting, and I had to take a few pictures here because I was trying to time it just right because of the traffic going past, with this customer standing at the counter there, and I thought it had quite a good feeling about it. I think I've noticed with my street photography, I respond a lot to atmospheric shots and lighting, and I've got a thing about escalators. I don't know what that is or where that's come from because it's new to me, but every time I'm going past escalators that have lights on them, or even just escalators that are lit by some other light source, I seem to want to take pictures of them, and I'm not sure why. Now here, I really love this because this has got all of these plants here, and they've clearly designed it like this, that the lighting is creating these petal shapes. And I noticed it was swishing round and curving as well, so I didn't want to get just this straight on shot. I wanted to get something that showed that curve of these lights, but it was a little bit tricky because of the bars in the windows and just trying to get an angle on it. But I didn't mind if it looked like I was looking around the corner a bit and peering in like this. And I don't know which one I prefer, but I kind of like this as well in its own way because it shows that S shape of these petal lights that we've got. Now in this picture that's coming up in a minute, this is a little bit different. I know I almost didn't take it, but the lights on this building almost look like a double exposure because of the way it was lit, and you can see it here. And I left the background on the left hand side in because I thought it helped place it a little bit and make it more clear what it is. I thought that would kind of help. Now in this picture, I noticed at the end the escalator and the lights above it look like eyes and a mouth. I thought, wow, that looks really interesting. And it just grabbed my attention immediately. I thought, nope, got to take a picture of that. This building here keeps interesting me, and I photographed it a few times before, and I keep doing this from different angles. I darkened down the top here in post-production so you didn't see the offices above because I wanted to just draw the attention onto this part of it. And I'm going to take another picture of it in a minute. This for me was more of a snapshot because the funnel shapes and designs were kind of interesting that were repeating in the glass above, and the whole thing looked like a Borg cube. It just has this thing where it looks like it's been put together by aliens or something. But this is the shot that started to interest me. As I was looking down this corridor, I realized I could see through, and the outside looked kind of bluey turquoise teal colored, and inside was very orange. Now I'm touching the screen on the camera so I can focus exactly where I want it to. I like the inside looking out feel that this has. So it looks like we're inside and we're looking out. And again, we're getting that silhouette, but I'm not making it prominent. I like the people to be small. I'm not big on photographing people. I like my locations to dominate. In my street photography, it's just the way I like things. And if I include people at all, I like them to be not big in the picture most of the time, or you know, very, very minor. I thought this inside looking out view was kind of interesting, and I really liked this picture. It was one of my favorite from the day. So one of the things you'll notice I've done with the screen on the back is that I've got rid of all of the typical sort of Sony clutter that's there, and I only have the most basic information. And I've set the button on the back, which has the display marker on it, which is the wheel when you press it up, is set to just turn the histogram on and off, and that's it. I saw this lady sat here on her own. She's very small in this picture, and again I don't mind that because I wanted to show how she was dwarfed by these massive buildings around her, and having nobody else there I think almost emphasized that even more. And this was a picture where I'd wanted to photograph this before because these companies do what I call a sort of a vulgar display of wealth, where they have these ground floor areas with not much in them. If you look at the seating, there's barely seating for 10 people here, but this building's probably worth millions of pounds, and I think it's kind of interesting to see with this massive screen in the background as well, what that looks like. And so this picture again is another silhouette shot where I saw the lighting in the background and the lights on these steps matched up, so I used them to create balance in the picture, and then I was waiting for some people to walk along and catch the silhouette of them. All of the pictures in this video were edited with my Night Lights preset pack. It's 2 presets, a light and a dark. It's only £12 and the link for it is in the description. Alternatively, if you're into portraits, you can check out my portrait editing course, where I'll show you how I edited these pictures from start to finish. And again, the link for that is in the description down below.